Okay, this session is all about due diligence and getting ready for the due diligence to a point where you're going to be able to transact on the day immediately after your pitch. So what do you need? Well, first off, I need to prepare you for this with a question. My question to you today is, how often have you got to a yes and that's changed into a no after a few weeks? It happens a lot, absolutely a lot. For those of you who've worked with high net worth individuals and you've made your pitch to these people and they've said, yes, great idea, send me your details, and you've already signed the NDA and it takes you 6 weeks to get it together. By the time you turn up or ring for an appointment, they've changed their mind. And there's a reason for that. I'm going to explain to you some of that today. Okay, here's why you need to know this. If you pitch today and take 6 weeks to pull all your files together, the auditor who's going to get in charge of or be put in charge of examining your project will convince the prospective investor to pass on the project. And the investor will have insufficient recall on his meeting with you to challenge the findings that that auditor puts forward. So you can see that there won't be any argument. It'll just be, oh, there is a good reason, but I just can't remember what it is. And ultimately, the auditor will have several good reasons because they'll try and work it. They can work anything. It's like 2 and 2 can equal whatever you like it to equal, depending on what the auditor thinks you want. Now, you have to be ready on pitch day, absolutely ready. This includes every duplicate of all of the items in that due diligence checklist that we've given you in a hard copy, hand carry file, ready to slide across the table. You've already done due diligence, non-disclosures. You're ready to go. Everyone in that room has signed it. Everyone in that room can carry away the due diligence file. Your question at the end of the pitch is not, would you like to buy this? Would you like to buy in? What do you think? It is, would you like to take the next step for due diligence and proceed to due diligence? And I'll inevitably say, well, yes, no reason why we shouldn't. Now, all of that catalogs information in that, I use a concertina file and I label I put indexes on each of the, where they've got A to Z usually. I've put an index in there for all of my headings, and I make sure that they've got that so they can charge through it and the examiners can see it and identify it and go. I don't use alphabetical, I use it by the pitch, by the items, and we've given you a list there. Keep it in that order, they'll understand fully, they'll be able to work their way through from A to Z and then walk away. If they want to organise a time, that's a time to take the next meeting. You've got to be ready. So you have to have access to your calendar and say, yes, more than happy to talk to you, because if the first one says yes, you don't wait for the second one. You try and close the first one. That's why we only do our pitches in the mornings and we only do 2 a week and we try and space them out. So a Tuesday and a Thursday. That way, if somebody says, I like this, yes, the due diligence file's all there, let's make a time for tomorrow afternoon. I'm happy to do that because I know I can get the yes. You need to follow your checklists. Copies only. You don't put originals into this file because you're going to need those originals. You'll make up several of these concertina files, but ultimately you should only need one. But we're going to do 4 different pitches. We generally do 4 pitches when we prepare people. And on our 10-4-1, the 4 is the 4 most likely people under the stacking leverages. You can see how you can discount them down the most to 0 or be below 0 in terms of risk. And those are the people who you're preparing this exactly for them. Their pitch is exactly for them, and the copies of all the items for the due diligence file are all set up, ready to go. Now you have to take their questions on notice and deliver responses in writing by the end of the day. I normally make this clear up front. At the end of this, in order to not have any sort of ambiguity or in questions, I want to take your questions on notice, and I'm guaranteed to give you back the answers by 5 o'clock today. Now, the reason why I do that is because that's why I do the meetings in the mornings, because I've got all day to prepare that. But I also don't want people charging them with the off-the-cuff answer that might be wrong. So I temper them a little bit and make sure they understand we're not on the time. There's no time pressure because we've set it up. So you've got 4 hours minimum to answer those questions. Okay, so now you know how to deliver your due diligence. You've got the due diligence checklist in your file there. Time to get to work on putting that together. Thank you.